Okay, so hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Default Global. This is where we connect with global first entrepreneurs and remote work experts from all around the world to share their experiences and knowledge. Our guest today is Claudio Riffeser, a founder at Pooky. Claudio, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks you for having me, and on behalf of all the Pooky team, we're really happy to share some of our experiences.
Awesome. So let's start maybe with your journey, right? So you have this an extensive background in strategy consulting, real estate, private equity, venture capital, right? And that's all before you stepping into this blockchain space, right? So maybe can you briefly walk us through your journey and tell us how has that diverse, I would say, experience um, sort of influenced your approach to building Bookie?
Sure. Yeah, you might ask, what is the link between real estate, venture capital, consulting, and then launching a tech company in the field of blockchain gaming related to sport? The connection is not obvious, and indeed, it's not obvious. So if you ask me, what did I bring as an experience back to Pookie? In the end, not a lot to be honest, because what I usually say to a lot of people that ask me how you step into the business is that I went from sort of web zero, web one to web three, missing the web two side. But it's especially because I missed the web two wave that I wanted to surf on the web three wave. So I had a bit to reinvent myself from the beginning and accept that I didn't know a lot about the industry. But that's I think something that a lot of entrepreneurs should have as a key attribute is understand that they don't know everything yet and be very open and humble in asking questions to leaders, other entrepreneurs that went into Web 2 eventually, because I talked with a lot of friends that launched companies in Web 2, and because I didn't have any friends launching yet a company in Web 3, but at least I understood the challenges that they had, as I understood the tech environment, and then yeah, I was missing also a bit of the Web 3 knowledge. So I started doing a lot of calls with different people, and in the end, well, we also got in contact with you, which opened up some doors within the tech industry, being able then to recruit tech talent that enabled us to make the first step and bridge our capacity to produce an MVP in a very short time frame.
That's awesome. And Pookie transforms the sports betting industry, right? By sort of replacing this conventional model with sports prediction, right? Particularly this through this risk-free model, right? So could you maybe explain more about this concept and how does it work for those who are not really familiar with Pookie, with the Web3 industry, and with this new alternative?
Sure. Our It all started by the fact that we felt that sport betting today was offering something that was not completely suiting the needs or the wishes of the player, but it's basically the only thing that they have today on the market if they want to predict on sport events. So we looked at sport betting. People love to predict on sport events, but what they don't like, especially on the long run, is to lose money. So if you look at sport betting, how is the core game loop works? You come on the platform, you predict on a sport event, you have to stake money, and then it's black or white. Either you lose or you win. 97% of people on the long run, they lose money. So what they do, they lose money, they put money again, they stake again, predict, etc. They lose again, and they enter into this vicious circle. So we felt that this is unhealthy. Also, when we spoke with a lot of people that were doing sport betting that wanted to go away to sport betting, so we decided to offer an alternative and build it first and foremost as a game and not as a betting platform, not gambling, but gaming. So everything is oriented on gaming, and this is basically what we did. So we focus not on the financial reward as main aspect for the players to play the game, but mostly focusing on other aspects like competition, strategy, power, etc. Really enhance those kind of possibilities or those kind of players' motivation for them to enhance and play and have a nice experience. So what did we do? We kept prediction because people love that. So we kept what people love. So you can predict on an event, but then we made it risk free. And how did we do that? Make it risk free? Because we leverage the power of the blockchain so that the players can own assets and they don't have a risk of losing the assets. So they need to own an asset to enter into the game, but they have no risk of losing. So in the end, this is like you don't enter in this vicious loop where you have the risk of losing, then you put it again. No, you have one time. And then the difference that we make is that we say it's no risk, no risk, but always win something. And always something, how do we do it? It's of course not everybody can win something financial, but you can win something that is like an in-game asset, points of experience that enhance your gameplay, and then you can use beside the core game loop, which is about prediction, you can use it in other forms of loops like progression game loops, like leveling up, ascension, quest, and these kind of things. So we make it a game which is way more depth around just sport predicting, and we take away the main player motivation, which is in sport betting is the financial reward. We give some financial reward, but the main player motivation on Pooky is having fun by yourself or potentially with your friends.
Got it. So, uh, Pookie, as like you said, is not a traditional betting platform, right? So, uh,
No,
in as far as I understand, it doesn't kind of regulate it, right? Due to this absence of any financial risks. Am I right?
correct,
Or
correct, correct. I mean, to fall into the category of sport betting, which is then gambling, there are four conditions. You need to be a public, so I mean, anybody can join. There needs to be an expectation of a reward, financial reward, an aspect of luck, and the fourth one, which is very important. All those conditions you need to those four conditions is a financial sacrifice, a stake, something. So sport betting, it's public. There's an element of luck because an event can happen. Anything can happen in a sport event, and there is an expectation of reward, of course, and there is financial sacrifice because you're staking money and you have the risk of losing. Within Pookie, like I explained before, we take away the staking element. There is no staking, so basically you're not risking money and with the risk of losing it. And at the same time, it cannot be considered a financial sacrifice, the fact of buying an NFT to join the game, because you're always in possession of the NFT, and the NFT has a secondary market value, so you can always exit the game and trade it. Then, of course, the NFT can go up in value, can go down, depends on the demand, and also depends on how much you have played the game, because the more you play on the game, and if you understood well, you can earn experience point, other points, etc. So your NFT is a store of value and a way for you to monetize your engagement over time over the platform, compared to free-to-play games where you spend a lot of time, and then when you exit the game, you stop. Well, they tell you goodbye, but you don't own anything, and you have not a way of capitalizing and monetizing all the hours and the time that you spend. So free games you enjoy, it's fun. Financial sport betting, you can earn a lot, win a lot, but on Pookie you can win and at the same time have fun in a healthy way.
in your one of your interviews, I guess it was for Bitcoin.com, you mentioned that one of the biggest hurdles to mass adoption of the Web3 technology is this complexity of user experience, right? And I'm just curious, how does Pookie address this challenge, particularly for sports fans who might be not really like familiar with blockchain, with technology, with Web3, right? So how do you do that?
Yeah, that's a very good question. It was definitely a concern for us at the beginning, or something, a point of attention, because we say, okay, we want to build a game based on the blockchain because we want to leverage this technology, but a lot of people are a bit afraid. They're not very familiar. They don't know what a wallet is, what is crypto, is it scary, etc. So we took it really seriously. And I think we're doing pretty well, because when we look, I mean, from our data, we estimate that 40% of our players are non-crypto native. So it's people that is qualified as Web 2 or Web 2.5, people that I've heard about NFTs, crypto. Maybe they were owning a bit, but they were not like savvy crypto. And 60% are really crypto holders on our platform. So what did we do? We did a few things, very simple, because we were in an MVP stage. First, we made it easy to connect your wallet if you have a wallet. Then, if you don't have a wallet, we partnered with Sequence, allowing anyone to create a wallet in a very easy way in 30 or maybe 1 minute, depending if you choose social login or an email. But if you do it via social login, it's like really literally 30 seconds for you to create your first wallet on chain. So that was something really good. And then, of course, you need a wallet to play the game, but on top of the wallet, you need an asset. So you need a wallet so that we can, the moment you buy the asset, the NFT, you can have it in your wallet. So the second step is buying the asset. What did we do here? And we said, okay, people can pay with crypto, but people that don't have crypto, how do we make it easy for them? So we integrated an on-ramp solution called Paper, which allows people to pay in credit card. So this is our first step, credit card. But now we are, for example, entering the Dutch market. We have a lot of Dutch players, and over there it's not credit card they use mostly. They use Ideal, another way of payment. So we still have a lot to do to integrate most of the Web2 ways or means of payment, so that we can, like, of course, onboard more and more people. But already credit card, you address already, of course, a larger audience. And then we went one step further. We said another pain point for players or that interact with the blockchain are the famous gas fees. Already gas fees, very critical. Not everybody understand. So we said that for people that are not crypto native, which created a wallet with us, we sponsor those gas fees. So Pooky pays for the gas fees of the user. So you can validate your transaction and you don't have to pay any fees, because nobody likes to pay fees, which those fees, they don't even go to us in the end, because they are there to pay the blockchain. But you would have to explain that to the user, etc. Some of the users said, why I have to pay blockchain fees? I'm paying Pooky fees. And we were like, no, you're not paying us. You're paying for the service because it's a public blockchain. But yeah, they need to get remunerated also. So this is what we did. And I think what it maybe a key takeaway is that in everything we did, we always took like an 80-20 approach. So we look at, okay, what is the pain point? What are the solutions there in the market? How much they cost? How much time it takes to implement them? And then we did trade-offs. We didn't take the most expensive solution, the one that is the best, but we did an 80-20 to be able to ship a first MVP, get the first reaction. And then, of course, in the next step, we would like to go even further in the wallet integration so that it's really, really seamless. A person would connect, automatically we create a wallet for him, and then he has it instead of having 2-3 steps. So, but key takeaway, focus on the 80, and then you'll see that a lot of users will be already happy, and you will start seeing results, and don't just seek perfection.
Got it. And speaking about that, as a talent acquisition company, we work with many Web3 companies, and we were lucky enough to work with Spooky as well. However, according to my observation, and I guess you talked about that in one of your interviews as well, that there is still lack of successful Web3 projects, Web3 games specifically, right? And from your point of view, why that?
The success of Web3, well, I think because there was a hype, around Web3. So a lot of people started a project in Web3 without knowing exactly what they were doing. I saw many projects, and I always even sometimes on LinkedIn, I ask, okay, but what is your utility of the project? Why are you doing this on the blockchain? Could you not just do the same just on the internet? Why do you need the blockchain? And many projects didn't have a utility, but it was so hype, so everybody was buying, because the market was going up, so nobody would dare to think or question it. It's going up, so it's fine. But from the very beginning, I was very cautious, because I said, if there is a downturn in the market, project without utility will suffer, will have a problem. So from the inception in Pooky, we didn't think about the NFT itself. The NFT is just the technology. We leverage the blockchain, but we thought, okay, what can we offer to the people? What do we want to offer? What is the problem that we're solving? So the problem we're solving is this like unhealthiness in sport betting by offering a sport gaming app based on the blockchain, which is healthy for people that still love to predict. So we're really focused on the utility, and in our case, is a fun game with taking away the risk. So I think the fact that also the market today is a bit more cautious, there are a bit investors are a bit also more caution in where they invest. It will just force the projects that are in the market or newcomers to think, okay, why do I need the blockchain, and what do I want to? What is the problem solving, and what is the utility and the extra value that I'm offering to the user, the end user, or your target user?
And okay, so let's talk a bit about your team, right? Um, I know that you're looking for like the best A level talent, and I know that Pooky is kind of international company, right? So you are engineers from different countries. In I know it for sure because we helped you with a couple of roles. But for those companies who are kind of new, for those founders who are new to this global hiring, international hiring, right? Who are just new to or just want to build this international team like you have. What
Yeah,
maybe you can tell us? What are some strategies you have found effective for hiring and maybe retaining the top global
yes,
talent? Can you
sure,
talk about
sure,
that?
sure. Yeah, sure. I would start maybe by saying that to any founder that is listening, or any future founder that is listening to this interview, don't be afraid to recruit globally. Because at the beginning, in an old model, you might be a bit afraid. How are you going to manage everybody remotely? How are you going to manage people from different origins, from different countries, different religions, and everything? But you shouldn't be afraid, because I think the benefits they are like way above like the potential complication that you might have. So you should really embrace it, because it gives you access to a talent pool, which is, in our case, it's European, because we still want to be in the same time zone. But the further that we're going to grow, of course, we could have an American team, a European team, and an Asian team. That would totally make sense. So yeah, you get access to a worldwide talent pool, whether in like in the sort of old traditional model, if you would implant your company in a specific city, but then your talent pool is over there. They're in competition with many other companies. It's way more limitative, so your capacity to recruit fast is limited. As simply as that. Then to retain them, I think you need to be quite modern in what you offer, align on the standard of the market, and be just like really upfront. For us, it seemed natural to be a remote, decentralized company, because we're building on the blockchain. So it didn't make sense to centralize a team somewhere if you're building something decentralized. And yeah, we just embraced this decentralization by, of course, so remote working, but this seems obvious in our case. Uh, a lot of flexibility. At the end, for me, if you do your job in the morning, at lunch, in the evening, late hours, some of the dev work really late, some work really early. So we offer really flexibility, some on the weekend, and they want to be a bit more relaxed on the Friday afternoon for whatever reason. So for us, it's really, it doesn't matter when, it's what you do that is really important. And I think that's also a bit of a shift in the way of approaching work. So it's really about giving them flexibility and listen to what are the needs, so that if they are happy, then they will deliver the most also within the company. And and then the founder is also happy, and then everybody is happy. And then
Yeah, and maybe from tactical perspective, do you have any specific strategy or criteria in terms of countries to hire from? Maybe there were some thoughts in terms of compliance or some other criteria that you currently have in mind or that you had in mind while choosing the countries to hire from. Can you talk about that a bit?
yes, about countries. I mean, right now, like you said, we're really European, so we have people from Romania, Hungary, Serbia, Slovenia, so more on the eastern side, but we have also people located in France, in Belgium, in the UK, and Germany. So you can see it's really covering all the European side. What we see is that on the Eastern country, you have a pool of tech talents, which is very qualified and also very eager to show their capabilities, especially on the tech side and on the blockchain side. So there's a lot of knowledge because I think some countries where you have a little trust in your own currency pushes people to embrace more cryptocurrencies. So it's something a bit more diffused in the society, and mechanically it has an impact on the knowledge of the people that work in engineering, basically. So for us, let's say that we had a bit of on the tech side, we oriented a bit more to Eastern countries, and then we started like find some talents, and then we started building around those talents because it made sense. And maybe one day we'll maybe centralize a tech team in one country or one area so that it really makes sense. But we have also engineers based in France, so it's really global. But on the Eastern countries, we have a lot of people from Serbia. They're really qualified. I'll not give names, otherwise people are gonna start trying to poach them.
Okay. Okay. So another question. So, you, as someone who has experience working in the venture capital space, right? And
Yes.
someone who is currently running a Web3, pretty successful Web3 company. For those guys who are looking for this opportunity to invest in the Web3 space, what advice would you give to potential investors that are looking to look at some Web3 company to invest? To how can they protect themselves? Do you have any kind of checklist that they can follow and find really great opportunities in this area?
Yeah, what I can say is that when I was like working on the venture capital side, I didn't really focus on Web3 project because that's where I made the step, and I went on the other side of the river, let's say. But first, to any investor that is listening, I would say contact us because we are currently fundraising right now, and we tick any tick mark. So feel welcome to contact us. No, but beside that, what I would say, I think it depends a bit on the stage of the company. But if it's very early stage company, I think you need to really look at again what I said before. What is the problem that the team is trying to solve, and how they are leveraging blockchain technology? Is it really needed to have the blockchain technology? In our case, yes, it's fully needed because otherwise it would simply not be possible to revolutionize the way that people predict. So what are you solving? Do you need the blockchain? Of course, the team. Is the team legit? Because the industry of Web3 have seen some scams, and some big investors have been also maybe not scammed, but been a bit above our promise, to have been negligent in the way they have given funds, and they have bit given like carte blanche to the entrepreneur, do a bit whatever we want. Anyway, the market is growing, so we are happy it's growing. But in the end, yes, when there's the downturn, then you start seeing how the persons are behaving. So I think it's important, like check the team, not only the founder, but who is around him, because that's very important. And of course, if you want to invest a bit down later at a later stage, I would always focus on data. What is the data of the company, and not only dreams, because at some moment, yes, it's nice to have a vision, a dream, but at some moment you want to see also we have a reality check. What are the figures? What is the dynamic of the company in terms of revenue, in terms of user, in terms of retention? So hard data more than words.
Got it. Thanks for that advice. So I still have a bunch of questions, but we're kind of running out of time. So probably my
Or
last question,
sure, sure.
in the reality of this blockchain, Web3 gaming, what future trends do you predict, and maybe how does Spooky plan to evolve and stay, I would say, at the forefront of these trends?
I think it's a difficult question, of course, because it's difficult to anticipate what can happen in the space. A lot of things are happening fast. I'm curious maybe how AI will integrate and intertwine with blockchain, because now I felt there was really a big movement about blockchain, Web3, NFTs. Now there's a big movement AI. I don't think that the two are to be distinguished, but I'm thinking that the AI will then power up at some moment back into the blockchain. So I'm curious how, and we're thinking, how we can incorporate also AI within our product. Well, there are like some easy ways. Of course, in the prediction, you can have an AI tool helping you understand the data, crunch the data, so that you can make a more educated prediction. You could think about AI helping the players to create new assets within the game, so giving more power to the player. It's also our vision on the long term to be more decentralized, and AI can enable any player. So yeah, I'm curious on AI. Of course, regulation is something important. It's not per se the tech, how the blockchain tech will evolve, but the regulation around it, because now it's a bit like a Wild West. It's a bit a Far West. If I look to our space, you have gambling laws and then you have normal laws, but there is no specific regulation framework for blockchain gaming. France is trying to regulate. If they manage, in the end, it will be applicable to apply to the European Union. So we're monitoring that, the regulation. And maybe the third one is, purely the all the tools that are getting developed around the blockchain itself. So you have a lot of companies offering new services to make the onboarding towards Web3 more seamless. Yeah, the wallet, the gas fees. So there are a lot of new companies coming up, and so we're looking at trying to partner with the best one that will be the sort of proven solution for us to integrate and become a super seamless Web3 experience, so that at some moment we can really scale, and people from Web2, they will not even think, wait, I'm going to a Web3 game. No, I'm just playing a game where I own assets, and it doesn't matter how it's done. It's just a technology. Like today, you go on Amazon and you click, you select, you buy, put in the cart, and then it comes home. But everything that happens beside that, you don't care. It's not important for you.
That's true. Um, okay, I guess we're good.
Yep.
Thanks a lot, Claudio, for this incredible discussion, for sharing your insights on how Pooky transforms this sports betting industry, on remote hiring strategies that you have, and just thanks a lot for those tips for investors who are going to invest in the Web3 space. Yeah, thanks a lot, and we wish you and Pooky all the best in your journey. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
See you.